What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Angelo podcast. In today's video, we're going to go over how to live a healthy life. The reason I feel qualified to make this video is because I used to be very heavy, struggled with kind of obesity, and I came out from that pain a healthier and happier person because I decided to take care of myself and put my health, my body first, because I really realized this was my temple. And I didn't want to feel the pain of waking up, joints hurting, sleep apnea, had a lot of ailments, and I had horrible skin, all these bad things because of the choices I decided to make with my diet and my body. So on this podcast, we usually talk about, business, finance, and health. Today's episode is going to be about health and just the steps I took from that journey. For those of you guys who have been watching for a while, during the pandemic, I was around 230 pounds, right? Saying 5'10", 5'11", mainly fat, not muscle, not anything. Like, I'd go to the gym here and there, and it's so funny looking back at these gym videos of like me trying to go work out and then eating a 3,000 calorie Chipotle bowl right after. And I've been there before, so I want to share with you guys how changing my lifestyle, changing up my diet has made me a healthier and happier person, especially with regards to business, my career, and with all my aspirations I have in life, and just being able to give a better version, the best version of myself to the world because I put myself first and I took care of myself, right? So that's kind of like what this episode is about. So when I was 230 pounds, my diet was eat anything and everything you see. The better it tastes, the more I would consume, right? That just meant the more processed, the more genetically modified, the more I would want to consume and eat that food. So for me, I would wake up, I'd have 3, 4, 5 meals a day, right? I wake up, have breakfast. I'd make eggs, bacon, whatever it may be. And then I would go to the gym, right? But my gym workout wasn't a really good workout. It was just kind of me thinking I'm healthy, thinking I'm pushing myself. I lift the same amount of weight every day. That'd be for 30 minutes. I'd finish the workout super fast, leave the gym, eat a 3,000 calorie Chipotle bowl. And the way I did that was wild. It was always double rice, double meat, cheese, guac, tomato, some sour cream, and then I get a Chipotle or a tortilla wrap on the side, and I'll just eat as much as I can, and I would be so full and so stuffed, and that would be meal number 2. After meal number 2, it was a protein shake because I thought I was gonna get buff. So I drink 2 scoops of a protein shake, usually whey protein. That's another 240 calories. They always lie protein's good for you. And then I would, usually for dinner, it was I go eat out with family, right? Whether it be getting just Japanese food, Mexican food, Chinese food, American food, whatever it may be. And then I'd have chips at the end of the night to go to bed. And I'd drink soda. It was crazy. On top of that, I was also drinking on the weekends and then Thursday, Friday. I just was in so much excess of food because I thought oh, I go to the gym, I need muscle, so let me just eat as much as I can, get as big as I can. And then I would just feel I'd feel horrible, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, because it's wow, I ate so much food and it really messed with my gut microbiome. I was during that time I had such bad anxiety, so I would always go to therapy and try and talk about it. Oh, I feel so lethargic, I feel so tired all the time. I remember always drinking so much coffee every day because I couldn't stay awake because I was always sleepy, I was always tired. It was insane. And then there'll be times I'm just walking around, I'd have 2 cups of Starbucks coffees. I drink it black too because I thought it would be healthier. And I feel super anxious, super tired, like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? And it would just be this endless repeating cycle, as if like I thought like it would never end, right? It was, I never took care of my body, so it reflected with my finances, with my school, with everything, because at the end of the day, the body was your temple, and I was doing nothing to take care of it. One day I just decided to change it, because I would run up this hill every day during the pandemic, and my knees would be in so much pain. Yeah, I'm still young. I was like trying to like understand, like, why do I feel horrible? I'm in my 20s and I feel like I'm 50. I feel like I'm 60. I feel like I don't know what to do with my life, because I'm just in so much pain. And I look at myself in the mirror, I think, oh man, you look great, right? I think like I'm all healthy and stuff, but in reality, it's like I feel horrible. So I decided to change like my life. Like what I did was I first decided to just do intermittent fasting, right? Because I was like all over YouTube, and I was like, okay, like it's good for your body because you like, it's a recycle, all the dead cells in your body. You won't eat as much because there's a smaller time frame, so you'll get full faster. So that was like one of the first things I did, which was like just intermittent fasting. And that helped me eat less calories, right? So for me, intermittent fasting is kind of actually what I still practice to this day, right? I will like, for most 5 out of 7 days, I would start eating at 12, so lunchtime, and then finish my last meal at 8, right? Sometimes it'd be 9, sometimes 10, just depending on how busy I was that day. But for the most part, that was like how I just started my fitness journey, was intermittent fasting. And then by doing that, it allowed me to like feel less controlled by food, because a lot of times my day was planned around, what am I going to eat? When can I get this next meal? And then I'd have these sharp spikes in glucose, where I'd feel extremely tired and lethargic right after I ate, right? Intermittent fasting just kind of gave me my day back, where it was like, all right, I don't need to eat breakfast. And I always thought I was going to feel sleepy, I was going to feel tired. At first, I did feel kind of like, oh, headache, oh, I need more food. And I would go to work or go to class, and I'd feel super sleepy, lethargic. But then I would I'd feel fine after a while, right? After a while of just eating nothing and drinking water, right? My mornings were consisted of just drinking a cup of coffee and drinking tea. So tea or coffee, and then I have like water, right? So that was one big thing I did, just intermittent fasting. And by doing this, I really just kind of got away from feeling that food was my day needing to revolve around food. And I actually really enjoyed that, right? So that was one thing I did when I first started trying to become more fit. And I kind of have it here, right? This is my thermos, it's my tumbler, it's my Yeti, and I'm drinking a cup of black coffee. And then I also drink water now. So I kind of integrated drinking a gallon of water every day. For most parts, probably like I'll try and drink a gallon, but drinking water made me feel full, because I've kind of realized was that your brain and your body is not really hungry. Most of the time you're just thirsty, because most of your body's made of water. And by drinking water, it would signal to my brain, my body, that, okay, I'm actually full. I don't need to eat. So water was big on that, right? So I would drink a gallon of water every day, especially when I was really heavy, because it helped me kind of excrete, I pee out all the, toxins within my body, and then I'd feel really good after I would just drink a lot of water. I'd feel full most of the time, because the food I was eating was clean, and then I was also drinking a lot of water. So it was kind of like a win for me when it came to just taking care of your body and taking care of your mind with water. So that was the first thing I did. Intermittent fasting, start the day, drink water and coffee in order to kind of just blunt my appetite and blunt my hunger. by doing this, I was able to get into like a calorie deficiency, right? More or less calories. I would eat less calories than I would need to maintain my body weight, right? So that was really big for me, right? And I kind of noticed too, like the mental clarity I would have from intermittent fasting was pretty great. At the time, I was like trying to learn how to code. I was also working heavily on school and at work. And a lot of those mental processes where they require like a lot of level of thinking, right? So by kind of just being fasted, I had a great kind of mindset and clarity throughout the day, and I really enjoyed the work I was putting in because I wasn't having these large spikes in glucose where I'd feel sleepy or lethargic or tired after. That was one thing I'd realized too. When I was really unhealthy, if I wasn't eating like bacon and eggs in the morning, right, I would have a burrito with like French fries. It was crazy. As your breakfast, man, that's wild to think. And I'd always feel so sleepy after, and I had a meet with my boss or I had to go do stuff for class, and I was just like, I cannot think. And it always fascinated me because like I work with some smart people, like some of the best engineers in the world, and then sometimes like their diets are like very unhealthy, or like some coworkers that are like very unhealthy, but they still able to get great work done. And I wonder like, oh man, I wonder if we end up like optimizing for good health, good fitness, good food. I wonder how much more efficient and productive we would be if we were to do that. So I thought that was kind of interesting from my perspective, from my part. So yeah, that was the first thing: intermittent fasting, drinking water and coffee to start the day. And then the next thing too was diet. So diet was fascinating because, as you know, I was saying earlier throughout this episode, this podcast, was that I would eat anything I saw as long as it tasted good, right? Usually that meant it was highly processed, right? Pizza, burritos, boba, Korean barbecue, lots of carbs, all this stuff, right? Crazy. And I'm like, this is good, this tastes good, I'm gonna eat it. There was like one time I remember me and my brother were like just eating a whole bunch of food like Wingstop, and I was like, dude, let me eat all that because I'm still hungry, right? It's so fascinating. When you eat heavily processed foods, your brain like doesn't signal, like your body doesn't signal to your brain that you're full. It's always like, eat more, you're hungry. When I started eating like pretty clean, like going to Sweet Green, going to Chipotle, like eating clean stuff at Chipotle, like just rice and meat and like vegetables, my brain was like, okay, you're full, you're good, you can stop eating. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah, so essentially what I did was I just switched to a whole food diet, right? Just eating very clean whole foods, right? My buddy's pretty ripped, shredded guy. He always told me, like, if your body, like, if you're eating like something that wasn't around like 1,000 years ago, like say chips or like a protein bar or a like whey protein, a shake, right? Most likely it's probably not good for you, right? So I really transitioned just to eating like vegetables, lean meats, lean fishes, grains. When it came to grains, it was like sometimes it was white rice or whole like brown rice, right? There's like, I don't know if it's brown rice or white rice good for you, but essentially I would eat that. I feel full. And just really transitioning to a more whole food diet was pretty good for me. There was a time I went vegan, and a lot of the vegan stuff I ate was like the processed vegan stuff, and it was kind of like supposed to taste like chicken, supposed to taste like beef, and then I actually broke out a lot from eating that stuff. So for me, I would just eat kind of like lean meats, lean proteins. Eat whatever you think is best for you. Usually if it's a whole food type of ingredient, you won't have like the lethargic crashes, right? For me, like it was just ground beef, ground chicken, top sirloin, salmon, fish, and I feel really great eating that after any workout or any just kind of as a meal, like eating a whole meal, right? There's nothing that will like be better than eating whole foods for your diet, for your mental, and from your gut microbiome. That's what I've kind of realized, right? Because when I was eating super unhealthy, like all the processed food, my anxiety was through the roof, right? It was just insane. Like I'd have like anxiety attacks, and then I would never want to do anything. And it was like this cycle of just not wanting to do anything because I was too full, I was too anxious, I wasn't taking care of my body, I wasn't taking care of my mind, my heart, my spirit, my soul. And I hope me sharing this kind of helps you guys get through your rut if you are where I was a few years ago with the diet, with the exercise, not taking care of myself, right? And I remember like my therapist saying, hey, let's put you on some medication, you'll feel better, you'll feel less anxious. And I always said no because I kind of had this feeling like, I feel like this anxiety is coming from the life choices I'm making with my health. And little did I know, it really was that. Like I feel so much better, less anxious, I feel like less stressed because I'm taking care of me. So that's one thing I want you guys to realize is that this whole food diet, not even diet, like it's a lifestyle now. It's good for you, and the things that will be good for you, that will make you feel better, that will allow you to give your best self for the world, they will be the hardest things you have to do. And it's okay that it's hard. Your mind is trained to have you survive, right? I learned this in school, and it just wants you to survive. So it's always going to ask you to crave a surplus of calories, to crave the sugar, to crave all these vices, these bad things for your life. And when you realize that, that's one of the most fulfilling and like relieving things you can experience, because you start understanding why your body is always craving all these bad vices, all these bad things, even if like you want to be healthy, even if you want to take care of yourself. So keep in mind that whenever you have this craving, just know it's your 3,000, 5,000-year-old mind just telling you that, oh, I crave this, I need this because I just want to survive. Even though we're like 80, 90, 100 pounds overweight, your body, your mind is always going to want all these bad things, right? And the trick is to tell yourself, hey, this brain that's telling me to eat all these bad foods, I understand that you have evolved, you've helped me survive all these years, but now I live in the 21st century, I live in this current modern world, and I just need to put the best things in my body in order for me to survive and live a good, healthy, happy life so I can give my best self to the world. So for me, eating whole foods was that, right? Eating healthy. Know that the companies, the places that, like where we have all these unhealthy foods, like we make more money when we eat more of these bad foods. So just try to eat healthy is what I'm trying to say. And you'll feel amazing after doing that, right? And don't get me wrong, I still eat chips. I still eat unhealthy. I'll still go out and have fun with friends, right? But I will earn it in a sense where it's like one day out of the week, I'll have a meal or I'll have a day where I just enjoy good, right? But that's because I put myself in a position where I've lost the weight and I can just enjoy myself from time to time. Like I'll still eat chips, I'll still eat french fries, I'll still eat fried chicken, like I'll still eat all these unhealthy foods, I'll still go out and drink with my friends. But throughout most of the week, it's like I was very healthy. So it's like you kind of earn your day to just enjoy yourself a bit, right? So I don't want you guys to think just because I have healthy, like, oh, I can't do all these things I enjoy. So for me, healthy foods, right? Go Sweet Green, go Chipotle, eat whole foods, go to your local grocery store, get whatever meat's on sale, cook that, sear it non-stick frying pan, and then some zero-calorie oil or some healthy oil like avocado oil, and then just eat with that, right? Eat those fruits, vegetables. I was very into eating a lot of grapes, as well as oranges and strawberries, blueberries, they all made me feel amazing. So I would get into just really eating a lot of fruits and I'd feel amazing afterwards, right? Because your gut microbiome is so important when it comes to just having you feel healthy and happy, right? And I want you guys to feel healthy and happy. Okay, that's the next thing, right? To live a healthy, happy life was, for me, healthy diet. The next thing too was finding a deeper purpose in my life. For me, like, I've always felt that like every person was put on this earth to just make it better for whatever, how long we're going to be on this earth. And there were so many times in my life, in my career at school, I would just try to make a lot of money because like I thought money would bring happiness, right? I was very fortunate at a young age in my 20s to make a lot of money and be in the top 1% of income earners in the United States through just going to work. And I realized that that money was great because it helped me pay off all my debt. And that brought a lot of mental clarity. It helped me go to school, send myself to school, because I grew up first generation. Like, I wasn't going to have, like, no one was going to pay for my college. I was going to have to figure everything out myself. If I wanted to do life, I had to go get it. Mom and dad, they love me so much, but they blessed me and allowed me to just figure everything out on my own. I'm very thankful and happy for that. So I realized making money was great because of all these things. It gives you freedom. It gives you the ability to just live your life on your own terms. However, it also, like, I realized money only makes you so happy where you have like this baseline and you can keep spiking your dopamine until you get to a certain place to spike your dopamine. And you realize you keep spiking your dopamine more and more and more to just be happy. I realized that very young and early, which I'm very thankful for. It's how social media works. We spike our dopamine, we keep kind of like watching new things, and then like we just keep this endless circle. It's kind of how like shorts have been working, which is kind of wild. But these companies are like billion-dollar value, which is kind of crazy. So for me, I knew people were going to watch content, podcasts, and I wanted to have a deeper purpose and meaning in life. So what I would do is I would just start making content, which I'm doing for you guys right now. And for me, if I was going to make content, it had to be content that benefited society and benefited the world. And at first, it was like Tesla stuff because, well, I just believe in Tesla's mission to make it a sustainable Earth, like get away from fossil fuels and more sustainable energy. That was amazing. That was great. And then that channel started doing well. It's monetized. Now, Angelo Carlos Talks is my way of giving back to the world because I know my journey to become what I've become and to achieve my goals is extremely hard. It required so much self-belief. There's so many dark days of doubt, not believing in yourself, and never thinking you'll never get out of your rut. I remember my first job, I was making like $40K a year, working so much overtime. And I was like, there is no way like I can ever see myself being successful, right? And I would go home and look in the mirror, look in the wall. It's like, dude, this is gonna be my whole life forever. Because I think the progression was like 40 grand. And if you get promoted, it's 50 grand, 60 grand. And if you become a vice president, it was like 80 grand. And I was just scared that like I was never going to kind of like achieve anything, because at the company, I was just like working on finance for the company. And I never like felt a sense of fulfillment in a sense because like whenever you work for a big corporation, right? Like a lot of times it's like you're given kind of like a small process and you feel like a lot of times you'll feel like a cog in the wheel, right? Which is kind of unfortunate whenever you're working for a big corporation, right? However, like you trade that sense of fulfillment for like stability, a paycheck, health insurance, all these like great things which are really important, especially like if you are at this point in your life where you don't want to take risks and you have like a family and you're like, all right, I don't want like kind of like to take a massive risk in my life, right? You just want to be safe, right? And that was great, right? I really needed that early in my career. However, like there was always this thought like I'm not getting paid enough, right? I'm not getting paid enough. And I knew like I had to believe in myself to see that there was a better life out there for me. Because if I told myself this is my life, this is my job that I'm going to be in forever, I'm not gonna. This is what I built for myself. Right? If I would never change my life for better, so I always kind of had this thought as like, I need to find purpose in my life, right? And when I sought out something better for me, that was like finally getting a job at Google. Was like I had to just kind of believe in myself, right? Because I think like 0.1% of the world gets a job at Google at Alphabet, and for me, I thought to myself, okay, if someone has done it before me, I can do it as well. Because it was at Google that I really changed kind of like my trajectory in my life, where I was able to pay off my school, I was able to pay for grad school, I was able to pay for all the student loans and debt I have accumulated, I was able to pay off my car, I was able to just have peace and clarity of mind, knowing that I can, I believe in myself now because I achieved something that was so hard, which was getting a job at Google, which was paying off all my debt. So I'm not in any financial trouble. I can sleep well at night. And that was huge for me, right? By doing this kind of journey is how I kind of find fulfillment in life, is because this journey was so hard. And that's the reason why I created Angelo Carlos Talks, is because I know it's like having a really, a job that doesn't pay you much, and then like try to change your frame of mind to believe in yourself, right? And then believing in yourself that you can get this really highly sought after job that only 0.1% of the world people get. And then believing in yourself that you can go to a school like UCLA that no one can, like not a lot of people get into, right? And then being able to pay off all your debt, which is such a rare thing in this day and age, right? I kind of subscribe to the fact, like, when you operate, especially if you come from like a background like mine, where unfortunately you didn't grow up with much money, you kind of subscribe to this fact that debt is the only way I can like get these things in life, achieve, like buy these nice cars or take care of my family. Like I had to go through a immense amount of debt or go to school. And unfortunately that's the case for a lot of us, right? However, my journey to pay off all my debt, to get a great job, to build Angelo Carlos Talks, like that was so like valuable and important to me. So everything I do for Angelo Carlos Talks now is just to share this journey. It's kind of like how I find fulfillment and purpose in life, because by sharing my journey with you guys, I know there's like someone out there who's gonna say, man, this guy did it, I can do it too. And I lay out the foundation, the steps where I learned from so many mentors, and you guys can take these steps and just replicate what I did, so it's not as hard as it was for me. Because for me, I had so many mentors on YouTube that I would watch who shared their journey and just helped me believe in myself, right? I remember watching this guy named Clement Mihalescu. He talked about how he went to coding bootcamp, got a job at Google, and built his own company. And I thought that was the craziest thing in the world, right? Some people will be like, oh, speculative, like, oh, he will be speculative and not believe in that. Or you can just reframe your mind saying, wow, this guy did it, so can I, right? And this video, and the reason I make the channel, is for the people who like want to change the world, want to make a better place, because I've come from poverty, I've come from feeling horrible, I've come from like just hating the world, and that was the extremely wrong way to look at it. You need to see the world as like, I can change the world and make it a better place. I can help the people I love, and I can do anything I set my mind to. So that's kind of why I do what I do. That's kind of why I try and make this content for you guys, because I want you guys to understand that anything is possible in this world. And the fact that I'm able to share this with everyone really inspires me to just tell you guys, find purpose in life. When you find purpose in life, you will make a lot of money, whatever you're trying to do. You will help the world become a better place. And then the feeling you get from helping people, from really just sharing everything you know, can really change someone's life, right? I may have mentioned this before earlier, how like I had the Homeboy Industries come to UCLA and give a talk. And one of the speakers, who was basically in gang life most of his life, in jail most of his life, he said, if someone had just told them that they believed in him, that they can make the world and change the world, make it a better place, he probably wouldn't have gone down that path, down that road, right? Just like with me, right? Even though I grew up not having much, my family, my parents, the people I love, my aunts, my uncles, they always told me that they believed in me. Because they believed in me, I started believing in myself. I started taking the actions required to take and make this world a better place. I started trying to achieve all my career goals in my 20s. I started trying to go to the school I always wanted to go to because I knew if I believe in myself, I can inspire others to believe in themselves and make things better, right? So find your purpose in life and then put the work in to make sure that you achieve that full potential and achieve your purpose, right? Everything I tell you, right, how find your purpose, do good for the world, right? You still need to put the work in. For me, that was studying late at night, studying hours for business school to do well, to excel. That was practicing interview questions for Google. That was doing really well in my job, even though it didn't pay a lot, because I knew that skills would transfer into the interview. I knew I needed to talk about these skills in the interview. I knew that once you got to that great job, once you got to wherever you are in life, that was only the beginning. And then you'll find so much fulfillment, so much happiness in life by giving your all to whatever you do. Okay? So Jello family, that's my secret of how to live a healthy and happy life. It's take care of your body, eat healthy, eat clean, take care of your mind, give good stuff to your gut microbiome so you'll be happy. Try not to eat processed foods. When you do, eat those processed foods as like a reward for taking care of yourself throughout the entire week. And then find purpose in your life, right? For me, it was Angelo Carlos Talks, sharing everything I learned from Google, from UCLA, because I know everything I learned can help someone live their best life. Help others, right? When you help others, you shrink your problems by growing your purpose. I learned that from Gary Becca. You will make a fortune if that's what you're looking to do in this life, in this world, by just helping others, solving problems, and being a good person. So Jello family, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys so much. We're at like 174 subscribers when I just filmed this podcast. And it's so crazy how it's growing. It makes me so happy because the more people like, the more people comment, the more people subscribe, the more like I'm able to get the word and the message out, just help people. So Jello family, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Take a look at my Instagram, Angelo Carlos. The link's down below. I have another channel called Angelo Carlos where I just talk a lot about my Tesla stuff. That's where I had a lot of my Tesla content. That's one of the channels that kind of like really inspired me to go on YouTube because I just started seeing progress and being able to get paid through ad revenue there. It's honestly inspired me to just keep going. And then now this channel, we're not monetized or anything like that, but hopefully in the future we will get there. We will get there. Just gonna stay consistent, just kind of keep helping the world and giving you guys all the advice I wish I had learned throughout my career, throughout my life. So please like, comment, subscribe, Jello family. I'm very blessed, very thankful for all you guys have done for me. And this is only the start. So I'll catch you later, Jello family. Have an amazing day. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Peace.